Hello everyone. Today we're going to be going over the otoscope. It's a digital otoscope and how to set it up and how to use it. So the first thing is you'll have this box, main box that everything comes in, and within that box there's three different items. Inside this box is the power supply that plugs in the wall, plugs into the USB port in order to charge up the otoscope. You'll have a second box, this larger box here, that has two different cables. This cable is actually for either charging or data transfer from the otoscope. So this guy is going to be the end that will plug into the otoscope, and I'll show you a little bit later. And on this end, if you look here, it's got the main end with the two wires. It can be charged by either plugging this guy that goes one way, just like you're familiar with on your computer for USB, on either one of these. Just keep in mind, if you're going to do data transfer, don't use the little dongle end for data transfer. That's going to be on this end, and you could still be charging it from this end as you're using it. But the main point here is if you're only going to be charging it, it doesn't matter which end you plug it into this power supply. It's just that if after you're done and you do want to do data transfer from the device, just make sure you use the main end that has the two wires here, okay? And we'll talk about more charging in a minute here. So that's those wires there. This other wire here is only if you want to transmit live. So I'm using the otoscope. There's a plug here on the back of the otoscope. I could plug this in directly, plug this USB into older computer monitor or TV monitor and be able to project down a larger screen so somebody could watch while I'm doing that. Okay, so the last piece that's inside the box is this is actually in here like this in the cradle. It's closed, and this is where you could store the otoscope here. So when you open up this, which is the first thing you're going to do, is grab this out. Obviously you have the protection screen off. You could take that off if you want. The first thing we're going to have to do is load the battery and charge it. That's what I'd really recommend for all of these once you get them. On the back here, you see this little slit here. I could reach my fingernail in there. If you don't want to use your fingernail, you could use anything like a tiny little screwdriver, something that you don't want to mar this up too bad. So I generally just, with it off, put my fingernail in this point like this, and I just pull back and it comes open. And on this part, as you see, it kind of hangs here, and what you're going to do is just lift up and drop. Why? Because it's got a couple hooks there holding it in place, and that's where you're going to lift and drop it out. Okay, so where are the batteries stored? Well, they're actually under where the otoscope is sitting inside this cradle. I'm going to pick this guy up or move it. Inside of here, I got three different items. I've got specula here, and I got the battery wrapped up in a plastic bag here. I'm going to remove this. And you'll notice that inside of here, you have the positive that's right there, the negative that's shown on this side. Same with the positive here on this side, negative on here, this side. You want to match this up and put this in the correct polarity. This little plastic piece is to help you remove the battery next time. So it's a good idea to put it underneath the battery. I'll line up positive with positive, negative with negative. If you put the negative side in first, it goes in a little bit easier. Pop that in place. Next time I want to remove this, I just lift up on this plastic. It just makes it easier to come out, okay? So that's now in place. Same way as it removed, I'm going to lift this up, put it in the center there, and have right there, I'm going to lift. You'll see the little hooks right there. You'll see that that can slide into here in the center. Now it kind of even hangs right there, and all I have to do is push down from the back towards this, and it pops in place, and now it's right in place and it's closed. Okay, so for when you first get these, what I'd like you to do is charge them. Well, how do you do that? You take this power supply, and like I said, you could use either or plug on this. I'm just going to plug this into the USB, plug this into the wall, and on this side, you'll see that it's a USB cable here, And let me get this in camera view so you can see this right there. All I'm going to do is take this guy here, pop it in place, and let it charge and fully charge the battery on this unit. Once it's fully charged, it should run about 3 hours of continuous use. Most people aren't using a continuous use for that long. I'm not going to go ahead and do all this. Everybody gets the idea how to charge a battery. And when it comes, I'm sure this one will at least fire up. So for demonstration purposes, I'll probably keep a charge long enough to fire this guy up. So a couple things to think about is on this particular unit, I can either record pictures or see it live. Keep in mind for your usage, talk to your risk management, see if you really want to record and store images. Remember, for HIPAA compliance purposes, if you are going to record an SD card, keep very close ties on where these units are. Make sure it was deleted after you use this SD card, just to make sure that, because if it's got patient information on here or somebody's face and images of a patient too as well, for some reason, you want to go ahead and delete that SD card. For those of you that don't want to use and record the SD card ever, if you already know that, you put your fingernail here, pop this rubber piece up, and you'll see where the SD card resides. What I'm going to do is push in with my finger all the way to my fingernail. I'll show it from this side and get that guy to push in. And when you push in, it releases. And now it sticks out a little further, and I can grab that SD card out and pull that guy out. So each one of these comes with a 32 gigabyte SD card. If I don't want to record anything to that, I put that away, put this rubber piece back on, and I'm done, and I don't have to use that anymore. I'll leave this open just a little bit because I'm going to show you how to put that back in. All I have to do is press and hold. See the power button right there? I'm going to press and hold that until I see the screen light up. And so with the battery in, I'm going to press and hold. There it comes up with the insignia. First thing it's going to tell me is that, hey, there's no SD card in here. That's okay, because I didn't want to record with one anyway. It's got the date present. You don't really have to worry about that. A couple of pieces you're going to do is on this guy, if I go back into this box, I got my specula here. I'm going to pop out and get one of these out. And I'm going to load that on here. No different than any other otoscope you've used forever. Just push on a little turn, and now it's actually on the unit itself. Okay? I'm going to use my hand. It's going to fake an ear canal here. And so what I'm going to do is put this in here. I don't have to wait for this thing to time out. Let me see if I can move the batteries here. Yeah, if I move the battery up or down, I can get rid of that message there that says no SD card. Now, when that goes in there, you can see it's really out of focus, right? I see a lot of white and out of focus. Well, what you have to do is this little wheel allows me to roll back and forth to get it in and out of focus. So using my index finger in here, if I'm going to pretend like this is an ear canal, and let's get it close up there, I can roll this guy. See how bad focus that is until it goes into focus right there. If it's too dark, I want to see back further in that ear canal, which my hand is now an ear canal, and you can't see very deep in there. Here's where it's showing 1B. What does that stand for? 1 bulb. If I want to improve the strength of this bulb, all I have to do is touch this arrow once up here, and you'll notice that it's now 2 bulb, 3 bulb, 4 bulb, on average anywhere between 2 and 5 bulb. On average, in my experience, works great. If it's overblown like this, like you're too close, well, then you need to go down. If you want to see further deep on in where I'm showing, like, let's see if I can see my wedding ring back in there. Now with that 5 bulb setting, and I roll my finger, wow, I can get that in great focus and be able to use this. So really simple. All I'm doing is turning it on, choosing what bulb strength I want, and that's it. Well, what does this button do? Well, if I had the SD card in here, it would allow me to take a picture of it, and I just press it, and it would just record to the SD card. But since I removed it, and there's my SD card, it's no longer going to do that. In here, if I lift this up, have the SD card emblem facing the screen, just like it is here. And I'll show it again here. It's going in with the screen side here. I have to push it until it goes in, and then the spring load and you can hear that click. Now it takes it into place. And so when that's in, now I could actually put this rubber piece, if I'm gonna actually use this from now on, I could hold that down, gets a nice flush finish here, and it's in place. Now if I'm into here and I go, okay, oh, I wanna take a picture of that and send it to somebody later, I can hit that, and now it just took a picture of that image there, okay? And then in there, all I have to do is press it again, and I'm ready to see other live images before I want to take my next picture. So that's basically it on using it, setting it up. Like I said, if I did want to transmit this live, I would plug this guy in. Nobody really does that anymore, but I do like to mention that just in case. If I do want to copy that image, either I can remove the SD card, put it in a laptop or a computer, or I could undo this guy here for my power. And like I said, at the end of the cable, this is the side with the 2 is going to go into your laptop. And this other side could be still charging if you need it to be. But the reality is you're going to get a charge from the laptop or desktop. So you really don't need to. You just plug this guy in, plug this end on the back side of this plate here. And that's it. And they'll be able to, and it'll read it just like it does any other USB stick or SD card, and you can copy those files. Just remember, if you plan to use that SD card, I can't say it enough, please be sure to remove that, delete it. If you're plugging it in, delete those images too as well to make sure you delete that SD card. Okay, now, what if you want to format and delete everything on here? Whether you copied it or you just want to make darn sure that there's no PHI on this SD card, right? All you have to do is, you got this little menu insignia here. If I press that, it's going to bring up a menu. I've got everything from display, video mode, UVC, auto white balance. We don't need to go over any of this stuff. I can set my date and time for those of you that really care about having the correct date and time on there when you're using it. But here's the most important piece, is format the SD card. And so now that all I did was, it's got up and down buttons to go in through this menu. And I'm just going to press the down button until it gets to the format SD card. In the center, it's got enter. So if I press enter on that, it's going to say yes or no. I definitely want that to be yes. I'm going to go up on the yes button. I'm going to hit enter on that. And it's saying busy, please wait, and completed. And it just wiped that SD card. So I definitely wanted to go over that. So that's basically everything you're going to use 99% of the time of using this system. If there's any questions, please feel free to reach out. Dan@telemedicine.com. Have a great day.